Hey guys, welcome to The Sports Entertainer. We have a ton of major wrestling news to share with you guys today, but before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you never miss out on an episode. We start off today's wrestling news with some very interesting sentiments from Seth Rollins regarding why he has an issue or dislikes CM Punk. Now, we've all seen Seth Rollins' reaction to CM Punk's WWE return at Survivor Series. It went absolutely viral and showed Seth Rollins losing his mind over Punk's return, and the question was then asked by fans, well, was this reaction of Seth Rollins real or part of a script? We got those answers in Seth Rollins' latest interview with Jimmy Traina on the Sports Illustrated podcast. And this is what Seth Rollins had to say on, firstly, why he has issues with Punk, quote, "A lot of it's personal, a lot of it's stuff that I don't really want to get into, but for the most part, I just think he's been really selfish when it comes to his perspective on the industry. I think he's been extremely self-serving, has played the martyr role to a T. Look, I got a lot of good things to say about parts of my relationship with him. He helped me in places when he didn't have to. Whether that was for his own good or not, I'm not entirely sure, but regardless, it helped me get where I needed to go and do the things I needed to do. For a guy who, when I met him, made it seem like he was all about giving back to the business, he really turned into a pretty selfish guy and really wanted to take more from the industry." Seth Rollins would continue by saying this, quote, "He said some really bad things about me, talked down about me for years and the company for years. I'm talking some really bad stuff, called me like a bootlicker and crap like that. You don't know me, you don't know what I stand for, I'm a loyal person, and I just felt pretty insulted by a lot of the ways he treated me, treated the place that I work for, treated friends that I worked with. I don't need to get into any of the stuff with Colt Cabana. If you want to go and look at that kind of stuff, that's out there. Just the way he treated people, the way I felt like he was only looking out for himself, and then the way he talked down about me and my friends and the people who are here, putting the hard work in WWE, trying to make this thing as good as we possibly could because we love the industry, truly love it, not just what it can do for us. We actually love it, want to give back to it, and want to make it the best it can possibly be. And I always just felt he was a fraud in that sense, or at least he turned into one at some point in the last decade. That's the long of it. It's a deep-rooted, I wouldn't call it a hatred, but a certain animosity. There's animosity there, no doubt about it. Now, hopefully that animosity between CM Punk and Seth Rollins behind the scenes doesn't get in the way of them having a phenomenal must-see on-screen feud, because fans are now going to be even more invested in this likely future storyline between Punk and Rollins after realizing that there is legit animosity between the two superstars. Now, fans of Sami Zayn may have to temporarily say goodbye to the underdog from the underground for a while, because it has been noted on the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter from Dave Meltzer that Sami Zayn has basically asked management for time off from WWE and has been granted a break from the company. Here's what Meltzer had to say regarding Sami Zayn's status in WWE, quote, "It looked like they were doing an injury angle with McIntyre and Zayn when McIntyre stomped on Zayn's bad knee. I don't have it confirmed Zayn will be off for a while due to that, but do know that he had asked for time off recently and was granted it, but wasn't told when that would begin. He was not scheduled for a 12/28 show in Laval, Quebec that would normally be built around him, as that was during the scheduled break, although it is possible they could have him do that show. Hopefully Sami Zayn's not going to be gone for too long, and perhaps gets to return at the 2024 Royal Rumble, but for the time being, Sami's on a bit of a retreat from WWE, and won't be seen for the immediate future." WWE appear to be very high on a fast-rising NXT star, and that said star is none other than Kelani Jordan. Now, she's only actually been in NXT for several months, with Kelani making her debut in NXT back in July, but Jordan's already been positioned in a pretty prominent spot in NXT, and there's a very good reason for that. According to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, those within WWE and NXT are very high on Kelani Jordan's progress thus far, which means her future in WWE is looking very bright, and she has a big opportunity at the NXT Deadline event this weekend, where Kelani Jordan will be featured in the Iron Survivor Challenge, along with Tiffany Stratton, Blair Davenport, Lash Legend, and Fallon Henley. Roman Reigns may be leaving WWE for Hollywood after he loses his undisputed Universal Championship. Well, that's what former WWE writer Freddie Prinze Jr. believes will be the case for Roman Reigns following WrestleMania 40, where he feels the Tribal Chief would likely lose his undisputed championship. Here's what Freddie Prinze Jr. had to say on his Wrestling with Freddie podcast regarding the plans for Roman Reigns going into WrestleMania, and his sentiment that Roman could leave WWE for Hollywood after losing his championship gold. Quote, I think Royal Rumble is, as they say, it begins the road to WrestleMania. The match is Cody Roman Part 2, and this time he gets over because the bloodline won't be at full strength, and I think he'll finally get over. Then Roman will go to Hollywood and make movies. I don't know. Now, a lot of wrestling fans have been saying for a while that Reigns already has one foot out the door of WWE, giving the fact that Reigns is now a part-timer for the company as evidence, and that once Roman's title run ends, he could leave WWE for Hollywood. And let us know if you guys see this scenario playing out when it comes to the head of the table Roman Reigns, and would you be upset to see Reigns leave WWE after WrestleMania 40 if Freddie Prinze's prediction becomes reality? Now, some truly great things have occurred in WWE since the company was sold to Endeavor and merged with the UFC, but there have also been some less than awesome things happen, including a lot of people being let go from WWE, over 100 employees from their corporate headquarters, and apparently some more names have been released from WWE, according to Dave Meltzer of The Wrestling Observer. Here's what Dave had to say regarding these newest releases from WWE, besides NXT backstage interviewer Mackenzie Mitchell, who got a lot of attention in the media for her release. Quote, "There were more front office cuts and one talent cut on 12/1. The only names confirmed at this point from being let go were 5 major executives. Michael Weitz, the senior vice president of financial planning who had been with the company since 2006, was let go. This would be job duplication, as either Endeavor or UFC have someone doing the same job. Weitz was part of investor relations and was on all the quarterly investors' calls for probably a decade, if not longer. As well, Meltzer revealed that Craig Stimmel, the head of global sales and partnerships, Karen Mullane, the controller and chief accounting officer, Stuart Fry, the senior vice president of streaming technology, and Matthew Geyer, the senior vice president of gaming, were also released from WWE. Unfortunately for the Charlotte Flair fans out there, we have some pretty sad or downright tragic news to share regarding Charlotte's status in WWE, as it appears as though the Queen of WWE injured herself during her match against Asuka last night on the Tribute to the Troops SmackDown special. About midway through her match against Asuka, Charlotte Flair was clearly having issues with her left leg after a spot sort of went wrong on the top rope, with both superstars tumbling to the floor awkwardly, and after the match, Charlotte was captured on camera by fans in some serious pain and referencing her knee to the referee Charles Robinson, with WWE staff coming into the ring to assess the injury and help her out of the ring. Now, this isn't great news whatsoever, and all we can hope right now is that this injury Charlotte sustained last night on SmackDown isn't too serious, and that she doesn't need to leave WWE again for any length of time. Hopefully nothing serious, but we will keep you guys updated on the situation as new details emerge. Now, we will finish off today's news by talking a bit about CM Punk's promo from SmackDown last night, and we think it's safe to say that Punk's promo on SmackDown was 100 times better and more CM Punk feeling than that initial promo he delivered on Monday Night Raw following his return at Survivor Series. This was more of the CM Punk we know and love in WWE, and this promo was almost a bit of a pipe bomb, with CM Punk hilariously referencing All Elite Wrestling when he was talking about who would feel comfortable working with someone who randomly punches people in the face backstage, and most notably, CM Punk took a massive shot at Seth Rollins, effectively kickstarting that rivalry, with CM Punk basically saying that he doesn't take what Seth Rollins says seriously because he's not even the man in his own household. Yeah, Seth Rollins can't be too happy about that line, and let us know your thoughts on CM Punk's promo on SmackDown last night. Was it better than the one Punk delivered on Raw last week? Let us know. Well guys, that's it for today's major wrestling news. Make sure you leave a like and comment, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you'll never miss out on an episode. Finally, if you haven't already, give us a follow on Twitter at TSE Wrestling, and we will see you guys in the next video.